Today, 24 May 2026. I greet all of you. May God continue to bless you. Today, I have come with another message, another teaching that I've entitled, Know Whom to Address. Know Whom to Address. Let me quickly read from Matthew chapter 16, verse 21 to 23. From that time on, Jesus began to say plainly to his disciples, I must go to Jerusalem and suffer much from the elders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law. I will be put to death, but 3 days later I will be raised to life. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. God forbid it, Lord, he said. That must never happen to you. Verse 23, Jesus turned around and said to Peter, Get away from me, Satan. You are an obstacle in my way, because these thoughts of yours don't come from God, but from human nature. Let me also read Matthew chapter 23, verse 29 and 33. How terrible for you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You make fine tombs for the prophets and decorate monuments of those who lived good lives. Verse 33. You snakes and children of snakes, how do you expect to escape from being condemned to hell? Let me start by referring to something that happened to me with my wife one day. We were actually preparing for sleeping. Then our child, our last born, started crying and crying and crying. My wife tried to give him some milk, refused, continued crying. Then later, she took the child to the kitchen, trying to give him some water, refused, continued crying, tried to take something to eat, give the child, refused, continued crying. Then when she came back to our bedroom, then I thought of, ask my wife to give me the child. Then I hold him. And I asked my wife so that we could pray. And we started praying. We prayed. To my surprise, when we said amen, after praying, the child was already asleep. Then we put him to sleep. And also, I remember that day, the child never woke up the whole night. He slept full time until tomorrow. Okay. Now, when we go to Matthew chapter 16, Jesus Christ was explaining to his disciples what was going to happen to him when he was going to go to Jerusalem. So after Peter heard that, he actually rebuked Jesus Christ that what he had said was not supposed to happen to him. And when Jesus Christ heard what Peter was saying, remember, Jesus was God. Jesus Christ was a prophet. So you could see behind what was pushing Peter to say those words. And Jesus Christ addressed Peter as Satan, addressed Peter as a devil. So Jesus Christ was away for him to die and then come back. It was the plan of God for the salvation of humankind, for the salvation of you and me. Everything that was going to happen to Jesus was actually prophetic. So everything was going to happen. And Peter couldn't see that. Then Jesus Christ could see and know that the words that was coming from Peter, they were not coming from Peter actually. They were coming from the devil. They were coming from the snake. Remember, when we go to the book of Revelation, the snake is a synonym to the devil. So Jesus Christ was a prophet who could see what was behind Peter. So Jesus Christ could address exactly what was pushing Peter. Then when we go to Matthew chapter 23 also, we see the teachers of the law and the Pharisees. They were hypocrites, and what was pushing them to be hypocrites was the devil, so that the nation would not know the truth, so that when Jesus would come for the second time, they won't have received Christ in spirit and in truth, so that when Jesus Christ comes, they will never see Jesus Christ. They will go to hell. So Jesus Christ. So what was behind the teachers of the law? What was behind the Pharisee? So you also address them as snakes. And remember, I said when you go to the book of Revelation, the snake is referring to the devil. So you see, many people today, we are fighting, especially in our family, especially husband and wife, because we are not genuinely prophetic and see what is behind, what is pushing behind your husband, what is pushing behind your wife, and you end up fighting, hating each other physically, and even killing each other. Some have killed each other. Only simple because of the simple reason we can't see the spirit behind what is pushing your wife, what is pushing your husband. So it is very important so that we move a step ahead and be close to Jesus Christ, so that we have at least the first step of seeing what is behind your children, what is behind your husband, what is behind your wife, so that we don't hate each other physically. And yet, when you hate each other physically, even your child, you decide to beat, and you don't see, cool, this is something that is going on and on, and the spirit behind which you then you kill your child, you hate your child, and yet the one who are supposed to be beaten is behind, and is a spiritual man, and yet you have hate your child, you have hate your wife, you have hate your husband. So it is my prayer that we be more close to Jesus Christ. We be more prophetic, so that we see some of the things. It's not everything that is fleshly, that is done by people, that is done by your relatives, that is done by your wife, that is done by your husband. Most of the things that are happening today are more of spiritual, that need you to start getting into your inner corner, pray, denounce it, fight it first, before you can physically take it physically, that your wife is foolish, that your husband is foolish. Try to fight in the spiritual realm first, deal with the spirit first. What you see is something that is going on perennially, and you are trying to caution each other, and it's not changing. It could be the snake is behind that. It could be the devil is behind that. May God continue to give you wisdom, and be more prayerful, and be sensitive before you can deal in the physical, before you can hate your child, before you can hate your wife, your husband. May God richly bless you, to give you the spirit of discernment, the spirit of searching before you deal in the physical. Thank you so much. May God bless you. Amen and amen.